It's very sad that everyone go for apple cider vinegar, which I think it's great, and for any other substance, but no one is talking about lemon water. But I have been using lemon water for over 10 years with thousands of patients that I have seen, and I'm gonna tell you which are the benefits that you might find, but I'm gonna tell you what are the real benefits that I have used it with a lot of patients. And please remember something. If you ever start trying lemon water in your diet and you feel all these benefits, please remember to come back and leave your comment here so other people can find it and see how it might be very, very helpful. So I want to tell you how to use this very easy, cheap, helpful tool in your diet to have all the benefits in your health. I'm going to tell you what happens if you drink it every single day. May I drink it in the morning? May I drink it at night? Can kids drink lemon water? Is it going to be helpful for my digestion? Am I going to lose weight and all my fat is going to burn if I drink lemon water? Is it safe to drink it if I have any gastric problem? Is it better if I drink it cold or it's better hot? What are the nutrients that are going to be helpful for me inside lemon? Is it better if I blend it in water? Is it better if I just squeeze a little bit of the lemon and put it into water? And I'm going to be telling you also other myths about lemon water that are not true. So let's start. In lemon, we're not going to find a lot of nutrients. In lemon, it's very important the amount of acid that it has and some vitamins that we're going to find, especially vitamin C. Remember that the type of acid that we find in lemon is called citric acid. Citric acid is a very good acid, not as potent as the acid that we can find in apple cider vinegar, which is acetic acid, but citric acid is very useful, and I'm going to tell you how. So if you want to see the amount of vitamins, again, especially the first one is vitamin C, but the amounts of vitamin C in lemon, although they are good, it's not the highest, but it can be very helpful for all the benefits that you might find as an antioxidant in your immune system, for your skin, and all the benefits that you can find from vitamin C. But most of the things that I'm going to tell you about lemon water are as a part of including good amounts of acid in our diet. Before we start, I'm going to go through part of the physiology and part of the pathology of most of the gastric problems that we have nowadays. Please remember that in the body, we need to respect the amount of pH. The pH is a balance in between the amount of acid and the amount of alkaline state that we have. Everything within 1 and 6.9 is acid, 7 is neutral, and from 7.1 to 14 everything is alkaline. The stomach, the normal pH is within 1 and 2. And we need to remember this because when we have a good amount of acid in our stomach, because we produce hydrochloric acid inside our stomach, we have a good digestion. We have a good stomach in the function. We don't have reflux. We have a good emptying and in a good time on our stomach. We produce all the benefits from the gallbladder. We produce digestive enzymes in our pancreas. We can assimilate and absorb proteins, selenium, calcium, zinc, vitamin D. So having a good amount of acid in our stomach is very, very important. And why am I telling you this? Most of the people, because of stress, because of the use of antacids, because of the use of antibiotics, because of Western diets, or the mix of all this, which is what we have nowadays, people don't have a good amount of acid. So people end up having acids in between 4, 5, 6, which is still acidic, but not the good amount of acid that we need in our stomach. And also, after 40, studies have shown that we start to decline the levels of acid that we produce naturally, of hydrochloric acid that we produce naturally in our stomach. What are the symptoms if I don't have a good amount of acid in my stomach? Then I'm going to have gastritis because I don't produce the mucus that it's protecting the tissue in between the acid and the gastric tissue. I'm going to have heartburn. I can start burping. I can start having gas or bloating in my stomach. I can have a wide variety of symptoms, but everything is because of the lack of acid in my stomach. So drinking lemon water, it's a very, very easy and powerful way when you want to recover the normal physiology in your stomach. How you're going to do it? You're going to have the lemon, squeeze it and pour it into water, and you're going to start drinking little sips to see how well you can tolerate it. This is a very easy way. What are other benefits that we're going to find from drinking lemon water? Studies have shown that when you add acids before meals, especially all the studies have gone for apple cider vinegar, but when we drink lemon water, we have seen in patients that I've used in my clinic, in my regular practice, when they have continuous glucose monitors, when they start drinking lemon water before meals, you see the same effect as when you use apple cider vinegar before meals, and is that the glucose spike after that meal, it's going to be lower in quantity and lower in time, and this is what we really need. And the other thing is, when we have a little glucose spike, the spike of insulin, which is even worse to happen, it's going to be lower as well. So we're going to have more glycemic control, and when that happens, that's good for whom? Well, that's going to be good for people with diabetes, type 1, type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, high triglycerides, high blood pressure, obesity, or people who are overweight. I told you before all the symptoms that you might find of having low acid in your stomach. And when you see this, you might think that people have irritable bowel syndrome. But irritable bowel syndrome doesn't tell me anything at all. But one of the things that I've seen in my clinic with my patients, working every single day with them, is that when you fix your stomach, all the symptoms that are related with irritable bowel syndrome, they go away, or they tend to get better, because you might have the consequence of having all the symptoms in your intestine, in your colon, but the root cause, the first step for everything to go wrong is when you have a low amount of acid in your stomach. So how are we going to start using lemon or lemon water in our diet? So first thing, remember, we've always said lemon water. So don't go for a shot of lemon juice by itself, because you might have a little discomfort, or it could be a little bit painful because you might get a little bit burned. Because you're not used to drinking this amount of acid. Start drinking maybe half a lemon in a glass of water. Squeeze it and try it and see how it feels. If you feel good, you could go for a little bit more of acid, or just stay with maybe half a lemon to 1 lemon with a glass of water in between 250 and 350 ml, which is something in between like 7 to 10 ounces. That could be something very easy to do. And please don't do it while fasted. People think that all the benefits when you take lemon water is because you do it in the first thing you do in the morning while fasted. No, you don't need to do it like that. You can do it during the day. You can put maybe a liter and take 2 lemons, squeeze it and put it into water. Why not blend it? When you blend it, the amount of acid, it's not going to be the amount that you really need, and also the flavor, it's going to be different, because the skin of the lemon is very bitter, and we want the acidic state of the lemon water not to be bitter and acidic, because all the benefits are going to go different, not go away, but they're going to be different. If you start taking lemon water and you feel a little bit uncomfortable, if it's not what you were thinking, if it burns, please stop and go to your doctor and get an endoscopy. Please go and check that you don't have a terrible esophagitis, a terrible gastritis, that you have an ulcer, that you have cancer. What are you going to do if you have an ulcer, if you have a terrible gastritis, if you're bleeding? Then you need to go fix it, wait till all the inflammation comes down, till you're not bleeding, till you're completely healed. And once you're healed, you can start recovering again the normal physiology of your stomach, which is to be acidic. And when you're acidic, you're going to produce the mucus that is going to protect the gastric tissue. And that's something that you're going to start making step by step, bit by bit, one step at a time. It doesn't happen in a week. It might happen in months. Is it better if I'm taking it in the morning or in the middle of the day or at night? For me, the best thing is have a container and drink it during the day. Drink it especially around meals. Half an hour before a meal or half an hour after a meal or both. It's better because it might be a very, very good aid for digestion. And people also have a practice. Hey, what happens if I take lemon water with baking soda, with bicarbonate? Well, this is acidic and this is alkaline, and you're not going to have a good effect. And people might think also that if you have acidic and alkaline, it may come to neutral. This is not math. This is chemistry. The effect of having lemon water with baking soda, see what happens in the glass. It's going to start making bubbles. It's going to start making a chemical reaction. That same chemical reaction is going to happen in your stomach, and you might end up burning the tissue inside your stomach because of that reaction that you're having, and you're not going to have the effect. We have a video over here where I tell you what are the risks of taking baking soda in your diet, and it's not good for you, trust me. So when it's a good moment to start drinking lemon water? Well, why not today? Many people don't like drinking regular water. And if you start drinking lemon water, it could be very helpful for all the health benefits that I've just told you, even though if you don't have them, you don't need to wait. Remember that most of the people that have reflux have silent reflux, and they have other symptoms that they don't feel as reflux because they don't get heartburn. They have other symptoms. So you can start drinking it, helping your digestion and helping your blood glucose. Lemon water has been around for some years, people drinking it, and they have so many myths and so many health benefits that we don't really know what's true and what's not. What are the myths around lemon water? Is it going to help me lose weight? Because when you drink lemon water, you get all your fat burned. I hope it was that easy, really. May it help to lower my insulin and my glucose after a meal? And could it help as a part of all the diet and all the habits around that I'm using for losing weight or controlling my metabolism? Of course. Is it going to do something for my memory? No. No. There are no benefits that we know today. It doesn't mean that that it's not true, but today, if you look for data, there's no data at all. Is it going to damage the enamel on my teeth? Well, that's something that I've seen a lot of dentists say that you should be aware of drinking anything with acid because your enamel is going to lower and then you're going to damage your teeth. And that's true and not true. If you want to damage the enamel in your teeth, you need to expose the teeth to an acid for a long period of time. And that happens when you have chronic reflux, for instance, because during the night, all the gastric content comes to your mouth because you're laying in your bed. So everything from your stomach is going to come into your mouth, and then you can have problems in your enamel. But if you drink as a normal human being in a glass when you have lemon or apple cider vinegar or any other acid, and if you drink and you swallow right over, which is what we should do regularly, the enamel is going to be fine because the time in which the teeth is exposed to the acid is going to be just a little bit of time, and it's not going to be enough for the enamel to damage at all. This is completely different if you get lemon slices and you go biting or chewing the lemon, or like people sometimes like doing is when they go drinking tequila and they go, oh, let's go for the shot and let's go for the lemon and let's go for the salt. Then you have problems. Will lemon water prevent from losing my hair? I don't think I'm the right person to answer that, because if that were true at all, I would have a lot of hair because I drink lemon water every single day. It's my favorite drink, and here we are. If I drink lemon water, am I gonna have any dark pigmentation in my skin, like spots or anything else, or freckles or anything like that? It's going to happen if you leave the lemon in your skin and you go put it under the sun. But if you just get any contact, if you're drinking lemon water, nothing is going to happen. There's something I want to tell you before we finish this video, and it's, if you want to try to go and look for studies, clinical trials, meta-analysis done with lemon water, you're going to find none. And you might think, oh, I've been losing my time this whole video. No. It's very hard for people to do a study, a clinical trial on lemon, because it's not going to bring money to anyone at all. But I've seen it with a ton of patients, and I've seen patients for over 10 years, helping them recover the normal physiology in their stomach. And this is one of these strategies that I have used to help people recover their stomach physiology. And it's really, really helpful. If I want to use it for all the glucose properties, I mix lemon water with a little bit of apple cider vinegar, because I'm mixing two acids, which is better when I have citric acid and acetic acid, which is the acid that we find in apple cider vinegar. But remember that the benefits, especially by drinking lemon water, come from aiding digestion and all the effect that it might have on glucose spikes. And of course, when you have a better control in glucose and insulin spikes, you're going to have a good metabolic control, and everything related with diabetes, overweight, obesity, high triglycerides, hypertension, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and all the consequences of having insulin resistance. And please remember that before taking lemon water, be sure that you don't have an ulcer, that you don't have gastric cancer, that you don't have any esophageal or gastric bleeding. And if you start taking lemon water and if it's painful, please stop and think that maybe your stomach is very, very irritated or very inflamed, and you need to fix first the inflammation, and then you can come back and start fixing the amount of acid in your stomach. Who might find a benefit of taking a little bit of lemon water during the night? People that have reflux at night. When you don't have good amounts of acid in your stomach, the esophageal sphincter, which is the muscle that closes the esophagus so you don't get reflux, it will be open when you don't have good amounts of acid. If I put a little bit of acid in my stomach before I go to bed, the esophagus is going to close better, and when I lay down, all the gastric content is not going to try to go up, but instead is going to follow the regular path that it's going down to the duodenum or to the small intestine. So I'm not going to have all the gastric content up in my throat and start coughing because I have all that content coming up. So when people start drinking a little bit of lemon water during the night, they can help their stomach with that purpose. So as you can see, drinking lemon water is something that is very easy, something that people think that has no benefit at all, or people think that they have all the benefits in the world. And for me, what I think is, and I've used it for several years, is that you can help your metabolism and that you can help especially your digestion, and it's something that it's very useful. And remember, if you've used it before, or if you start using it and if you find any benefit, please remember to leave your comment here telling if you found any benefit from it, so other people can find your comment and start doing it as well. And remember, before you leave, too, that the best way to support us, it's very easy. Share the video, hit the like button. Please remember to subscribe and ring the bell so we can tell you every time we make new videos.